And it's Andy Vyman at the double. Bristol City lead the seven-side derby, and Bristol City have won it. Martin slides away in celebration. Antoine Semenyo, take a bow. Sykes one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He gets his first Bristol City goal. Oh, goodness me, Andy Vyman.
Good evening and a warm welcome to Robins TV for another encounter in the Sky Bet Championship. 2 games in just 3 days for Bristol City, and tonight they come up against Coventry City, who are rooted to the bottom of the Championship as it stands, but they picked up a decent result on Saturday at home against Middlesbrough. Bristol City succumbed to a pretty impressive QPR on Saturday afternoon, and Nigel Pearson will be hoping for a much improved performance this afternoon. Can they get back to winning ways? Can they pick up a clean sheet on home soil as well? Here to watch all the action with me this evening is none other than Academy Director Brian Tinian. Brian, welcome along. Brilliant to have you with us this afternoon. First of all, let's just go back to yesterday. A pretty impressive draw again for the under-21s, and great to see another player coming over from the Channel Islands, Ben Acey, hitting the score sheet as well.
Yeah, they did really well. Tommy Backwell got a couple of yellow cards quickly just before half-time, so we played the second half with 10 men, but the staff organised the team really well to sit in, to block it up, and they couldn't get through us. So really good, because they've had a really good start of the season, Millwall as well, so we're neck and neck at the top, so it was a really good one. And Ben Acey with a good header from Seb shot, that's saved by the goalkeeper, so really pleased with that. Yeah,
the under-21s flying at the moment, which is fantastic to see. Bristol City, of course, without a win now in three disappointing results. Performance-wise, if you compare it to last season, leaps and bounds ahead of that, despite the results. Saturday was a bit of a lacklustre display. We'll get the team news shortly with Dan White. But where do you think Bristol City did come up short on Saturday?
I think that, and Knight said it in his interview after the game, I think there was too many players not in the game. I think you can get away with 1 or 2 on a Saturday afternoon, but if you have 5 or 6, it's going to be a tough afternoon. And I think there was too many people not on the game on Saturday, and I think it wasn't the team we've seen over the past 8 or 9 games, where we've been front foot. We've not let teams settle, we've not let teams really play that much, and we've got really on the front foot, and we didn't quite get to that level on Saturday. But I'm sure Nige, after a couple of days, will have the boys ready now with a few fresh faces as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Andy Vyman is a player we just spoke about actually just before coming on air there. He's not been quite at his best, had a bit of a niggle away on international duty. We need him firing tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure it's a game now that Andy will want to start assisting and scoring again. He's just been off a little bit in the last few games, but for the couple of seasons Andy's had, he's allowed that. He's allowed a little dip in form. But normally with players like Andy Vyman, they come back, and they come back well. And I think with Antoine up there today as well, I think it'll be a good night for Andy, a good night for Antoine tonight.
Fingers crossed. And a familiar face as well in the opposing side. Let's see if Andy Vyman is in the starting 11 for Bristol City. Here with all the team news now, it's our lead commentator for the night, it's Dan White.
Thank you very much, Toby. Yep, Bristol City back under the lights once again this evening. Questions to be asked of both of these sides. Are Coventry in a false position, as some have called it, and can Bristol City turn their recent fortunes around? We're about to find out. Let's have a look at the two sides, starting with our visitors from Coventry. And they're unchanged after picking up their first win of the season on Saturday at home to Middlesbrough. It would appear Mark Robins may have found the system that suits this side as they line up in a 3-5-2 formation, very similar to how Bristol City will line up tonight. Ben Wilson is preferred in goal to former City loanee Simon Moore, and the back three consists of Jonathan Panzo, Callum Doyle and experienced head Kyle McFadzean, who fast approaches 200 championship games. Ben Sheaf and Jamie Allen sit deep in midfield and will be supported on the flanks by former Chelsea youth player Fankati Darbo and Jake Bidwell. Ahead of them in the hole is Casey Palmer. Palmer returns to Ashton Gate for the first time tonight after leaving in the summer and has called this the biggest game of the season. One to watch for the City back three, and he's joined by Victor Gyökeres, and Matt Godden up front. On the bench for Coventry, Michael Rose, Martin Waghorn, Tyler Walker, Fabio Tavares, Josh Eccles and Todd Kane make it 3 former City players in the squad tonight. As for Bristol City, Nigel Pearson has made 3 changes to the side that lost here on Saturday, and it's a first start of the season for Antoine Semenyo, who's been chomping at the bit to get his chance from the beginning, and it's time tonight. Naki Wells joins him up top with Andy Vyman just behind the pair as he looks to build on his 3 goals so far this season. It's an all-new midfield with Alex Scott missing out tonight through suspension after picking up his 5th yellow of the season at the weekend, which means Andy King and Han Noah Masengo start in the middle. Could the blend of youth and experience be just right for the Robins? At the back, it's unchanged with Atkinson, Naismith and Viner continuing their run of starts, and they're supported by Jay De Silva and Mark Sykes on the flanks. On the bench for City, it's Max O'Leary. Joe Williams and Tommy Conway dropped to the replacements, along with Chris Martin, Cam Pring, George Tanner and youngster Dylan Kadji. More from Brian on him, I'm sure. Before we get reaction from the boys on that team, though, let's hear from the gaffer. Nigel Pearson has been talking to Robins TV.
Nige, 3 changes this evening, including a first start of the season for Antoine Semenyo. Yeah. How keen, how ready is Antoine?
Well, we'll see tonight, but he's been looking forward to getting a start for a while. He's not been impatient, though, so he's understood the reasons. And he's actually quite lucky tonight in some ways. Tommy got a bit of a knock at the weekend. Tommy's okay for the bench tonight, and so again he'll have to go in there and perform, but that's a good situation to have.
No Alex Scott because of suspension, but you brought some real quality and experience in Andy King alongside Han Noah Masengo.
Yeah, I just decided to freshen it up in there tonight. Like you say, Alex is suspended, so it's I've said before, we're going to need everybody. We've got a few players out there tonight who need a response as well. I think there are plenty of players in our squad who are in credit, if you like, but we know ourselves that we need to get a response after the weekend, because at the weekend we weren't at our normal levels of performance.
We played Coventry once this season in the Cup. Obviously they've had a tough start to the season, albeit the win on Saturday. What do you expect tonight?
They'll come here wanting to win. I expect that, and they've got some good players, so they'll probably be quite encouraged after seeing our performance at the weekend. But for me, it is very much about ourselves, because we were the reason that we didn't get anything out of the game at the weekend, and that's no disrespect to our opponents, but I thought we underperformed, and we need to make sure that tonight we get it right.
Nigel Pearson there with Dave Barton. We apologise, you saw about 3 different versions of the team sheet there, but hopefully by kick-off you'll get an idea of what that starting 11 is for Bristol City. No Tommy Conway tonight. Nigel Pearson cited a bit of a knock there. Semenyo comes in. I think he's averaging, well, not so much after the weekend, but prior to the QPR game, a goal every 43 minutes. Yeah. It'd be good to see that sort of strength and pace from the off tonight.
As Nigel said, he'll have been chomping at the bit to start the game. So he's got the opportunity. Tommy's been away internationals, played a couple of games, took a little knock. So probably a good time for Tommy to come out and have a little breather. Come on then, Antoine. It's over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, fingers crossed we can get all 3 points tonight, but it's time to head over to the Former Players Association now to hear from a man that picked up over 400 appearances during his time representing the Reds. Dan White caught up with Rob Newman on the weekend.
So I'm here with Rob Newman. Rob, welcome back to Ashton Gate firstly.
Yeah, thanks Dan. It's really nice to be back here. Love coming back here. Obviously, hundreds and thousands of memories of this place. It's grown a bit, it's improved a bit, just a touch, but listen, to be invited back today is always a special occasion for me.
Yeah, nearly 400 games for Bristol City, I think, between 81 and 91. You must have some great memories of this place.
I think over 400 games, Dan. Wow. Come on. Yeah, you go look.
I've done you a disservice there. Over 400 games.
No, like I say, it's fantastic. Lots of memories, occasions, both like negative and positive, because we went through a tough patch in those early years. But listen, it's always been a club that's very close to my heart, and even just I've been here like half an hour, seen 4 or 5 of the old players and whatever, like, and you just get back into the banter and the conversations that you had all those years ago. So listen, really appreciative of the invite back today, and looking forward to the game, because the team started really well this season. So I'm fingers crossed for a good performance and 3 points.
So what do you make of this current City side then this season?
Well, from afar, I've not seen them live. I've seen them on video, and I've not seen them live. So I'm looking forward today. But I just feel this year could be the year that they could be in the mix. You know what I mean? Like, so you look around here, you look at the support. I know the support's fantastic, but the players they've got on there now, they've got some good energy in the team with young players, but they've got a few people with a bit of nous about them as well. So they've got a good mix, good manager that's been proven in Premiership as well. So everything is pointing towards having a really successful season and fingers crossed getting to the promised land of the Premier League.
Yeah, now, as a defender, City obviously at the moment playing 3 at the back, can be 5 at the back at times. Who's sort of standing out for you from the defensive positions, perhaps?
I think you don't pick any individual out. I think if you've got to be a successful team, you've got to have a strong defensive unit. And Nigel being the manager, being a defender, I mean, he recognises that as well. So I think, I mean, rather than sort of like actually make any individuals the standout figure, I think you need a collective unit. And me being a defender, like, yeah, okay, if you're part of a strong unit that doesn't concede goals, this side will score goals. So, like I say, I mean, they can't afford to keep leaking the silly goals, really, because it sort of like makes games a bit nervous for people as well. So with the quality in offensive they've got to be a strong, compact defensive unit.
Now, before we let you go, we just have to ask you, what are you up to these days? What do you get? Are you still involved with football? Yeah,
I am. Yeah, I'm working with another ex-player, David Moyes, head of recruitment at West Ham. So I'm working closely with him. So obviously we both got good memories of this place. So been there a year now, enjoying things. So I mean, also it gives me a chance to look at the young players of City and QPR today.
Well, good luck today. Thank you.
Okay, cheers, Dan. Thanks.
Former Players Association going strong up in the Heineken Lounge. Great to see so many old faces together, reconnecting as well, which is fantastic. We've had a few questions on Instagram about Dylan Kadji, who's on the bench today for Bristol City. I believe this is the first appearance on the bench in the league. You've said he's been really impressing in training.
Yeah, he's been playing in the 21s extremely well. We've seen a big difference since pre-season. He came back and he trained with the first team in pre-season, and that has really kicked him on. He's having to play quickly. He's having to really step up to the mark, and he's doing it extremely well. He'd gone to Austria on tour, but he got a little knock before that, so he didn't play. But he's playing with our 21s, but he's training with the first team consistently, which is helping him a lot. And we're pleased with him.
We've seen a few of the boys playing with the first. Callum Wood, I believe. Yeah. I think until he picked up a bit of a knock himself. Some of the boys are around the fringes. No,
it's really good. We had 5 of the boys training last week with the first team squad. We had a young Elijah Morrison at 16 who played half an hour for the 21s last week. He trained with the first team last week. So there's great opportunities here. You know, the football club is geared up for young players to get an opportunity, and they're doing themselves proud, and they're doing the football club proud.
Fantastic. Well, plenty of excellent players coming through the academy, as we know. Ben Acey picking up a goal for the under-21s yesterday in that 1-1 draw against Millwall. After this short break, plenty to come. We've got Hanno Masengo catching up with Dan White, and we'll be looking back at a classic between Bristol City and Coventry City after this short break.
Might not wanna get close. We a little wild war, covered in tattoos. Run it up, taking all the views. Stepping on place, feeling the fear. I know you feeling it in the air. Whole squad wearing all black. Motivation's looking real bad. We back to the bone, raising a fire alone. We ain't never needed nobody. Give me 6 feet, this is my party. Ain't got no feelings, we heartless. Take a peek inside the darkness. Blow up the spot, then we run it. Ready or not, here we coming.
When the red robin comes bobbing along.
The Robins, who this season have gone bobbing along right into the 2nd division of the English Football League.
The Robins.
if you've ever been to Ashton Gate in Bristol, you'll know that as the signature tune of Bristol City, the Robins.
So we've got all this outdoor space here, and it's perfect for companies to come in, whether they're small or large. So we cater for maybe a team of 12 or a team of 800. They can come here, have a really positive experience and be rewarded for all their hard work in the office or whatever industry they're from.
As we've got such a big company, a lot of us don't see each other.
Being able for the first time to get everyone out together in one place doing an activity together was great for team bonding and boosting that morale.
We can hone in on specific skills such as communication, leadership, teamwork, resilience. Here we've got a 400-metre military assault course, which is fantastic for team building. If you want a morale booster, this is the place to come.
Welcome back to Robins TV. Just under 15 minutes to go until kick-off. Can Bristol City get back to winning ways? Casey Palmer facing up against his former side tonight. Hopefully he doesn't come back to haunt them, but something a bit different now is Dan White, our commentator for tonight, headed up to the HPC earlier on this week and caught up with Han Noah Masengo, and he gave us some insight into his teammates' hobbies.
Hello, I'm Dan White, and this is What's in the Bag. I'm with Han Noah Masengo, who's going to tell us a little bit about our teammates. So, Han, all I need you to do is reach into the bag, pull out an item, and the first player you think of when you pull out that item, please.
Okay.
Okay. Reach in there. Oh, a camera.
A camera.
Now, this might be you.
Yeah, but I'm not.
You can't think.
I can't say me. I would say I have 3 teammates when I think about this. Antoine Semenyo,
yeah,
Zach Viner, and Machi James, because they're into photography a little bit.
Really?
So yeah, I think Antoine's got cameras, Zach as well, and Machi James have one as well.
Nice.
So.
Well, we didn't know there were some photographers in the squad.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you're really keen, aren't you?
Yeah. I love photography.
Yeah, and you take some. Who are the people? I know that you take pictures on the coach. Mm-hmm. Who are your best muses, if you like, on the coach?
Well, so because I'm in the back on the couch, I just take people around me. So there is Naki, Antoine, Jay, Joe, Nazy.
Nice.
So yeah, those people.
He's very good. He's very good. Check him out on Instagram. There's a little plug for you. Pop that one down there for us. Reach into the bag once again. We have. Oh, he's pulled out the mirror.
What is that? Oh, a mirror.
Who spends the most time in front of the mirror, Han? When you pull out a mirror, who do you think of?
It's tough. It's tough. I would say Pringy maybe.
Really?
Yeah, because he's always like checking on his hair, so I would say Pringy, yeah. I would say Pringy.
You've been called out there, Cam.
Yeah.
You've been called out as I check my own hair.
Sorry, Pringy.
Check in the bag. Deodorant. Now,
deodorant.
Take us into the dressing room. Who is spraying this a lot?
Well, I don't really know, but I know someone that never has like deodorant, and
okay.
he's always asking for some. So that is Naki Wells.
Really? Always borrowing some?
Yeah, all the time. He's always taking my stuff, all the time. So yeah.
Well, tell you what, Naki. Give that to him. That's yours now, Naki.
It, yeah. Alright, that's for Naki then.
We've got a couple more items in there. Have a little reach around. It's a speaker.
Oh yeah, Andy Weiman, because he's the one that takes care of the music in the dressing room. So yeah, I'll say Andy. He's got
Weiman.
Yeah, a couple of good playlists before the games.
What sort of music is he putting on?
I think he puts a little bit of everything, to mix a little bit. So.
Thinking of everyone else.
Yeah,
something
exactly.
That everyone would like. That's very good.
So,
not like Joe Williams then, who apparently has a very specific.
Yeah, he loves. I think he loves house music.
Yeah.
So he's always asking for some house music, but yeah.
Andy Weiman. Okay, we've got one more item in there. Slid. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I get it for you. It's slid out of reach. There we go. Hair gel.
Hair gel.
Now, obviously, you don't use hair gel.
No, I don't.
But Who's somebody who uses hair gel a lot?
Maybe Callas?
Really?
I think so. I don't even know. I don't know to be fair, but I would say Callas maybe.
Callas's hair does stay in place, doesn't it?
So I would say Callas, Pringy, Benz. Yeah, that's the guys I think about.
Nice.
But I don't really see them like put anything on their. I'm just guessing.
It's a pretty good guess.
What is this? Right. Is this like something to?
It's like a putty.
You put on your hair and then it's like straight.
It tries to stay as it is.
Okay.
It's what gets my hair looking so average. Han, thanks very much for speaking to us.
Thank you very much.
Taking us inside the dressing room.
Yeah, no worries.
Naki Wells thrown under the bus there by Han Masengo. Nonetheless, time to head back to a classic now in 2012. And with 5 games remaining, Coventry came to town for a relegation dogfight. And here's what happened.
It is one of the biggest games of the season in the Empower Championship for the 2 clubs involved today. Bristol City are just outside the relegation zone. Coventry are 3rd from bottom. A win here would be a huge boost to either side's survival hopes. 2 very nervy looking dugouts today. Oh, it's deflected off Stead and in. An unbelievable own goal. A huge chunk of fortune about that. But it comes off Stead and flies beyond Dean Gherkin, and Coventry are in front in this huge game in the Championship. Just looped up beyond the keeper, he had no chance. We'll run on to Jonathan Stead here, and he wins his side a corner, brilliant play. Keogh came across and just tried to deal with the danger. Really clever through ball. It's smart defending. Bright start to the second half needed. It's in the penalty area and flicked in. And look who's made amends. Stead turns it home for 1-1. And the man who scored the own goal has levelled things in Bristol. Wasn't quite in the quadrant for the corner, was it? Bristol City won't care because it's 1-1 and a really intuitive little finish from an out-and-out goal-getter in John Stead. He was sharper than anyone to react to that second ball and hook it over the line. It's a Pittman on the edge. Nice pass as well. And a really good turn. And Bolasie gets it over the line. Bristol City do take the lead with 8 minutes to go. And what a vital goal that could be in Bristol City's season. Sharp turn from Bolasie on this wet surface. He keeps his cool and just slides it beyond the keeper. And a deflection sees it roll over the line. It's heartbreaking for Coventry, who've had to defend so well here. It may get better here for Bristol City. It falls to Wood. They've done it for sure now. It's 3-1. Smashed in by Chris Wood, the substitute. 2 players off the bench make the difference here. And what a wonderful strike from Chris Wood. Drilled it into the ground. There's nothing Murphy could do about it. Cue the celebrations again. This is all done. 3-1 to Bristol City. They move 4 points clear of the relegation zone. A huge victory for Bristol City against fellow strugglers Coventry here. 3-1 it finishes.
Very important victory there for City. Looking ahead to tonight, Brian, then what will Nigel Pearson, he had a steely look in his eyes in his interview, what will he be saying to his players now?
I thought exactly the same. I thought he looks really focused. I'm sure the players are. I think you want a really fast start. I think he'll be looking for a goal quickly to settle the nerves, and I think we'll be right after him from the first whistle. I think you'll see a really positive first 10 minutes, and I think we'll get a goal in them minutes. And it'll settle the players down, because they'll be a little bit edgy after Saturday. But I'm expecting a really fast start.
Fingers crossed Bristol City can get the result. We'll let you join Dan up in the commentary position, but it's time for us to now say goodbye to those of you